Hey guys, Noah from the future here. So this podcast is going to be a little scuffed. We had a lot of issues with this one. Parker thought that he had lost his audio, but luckily through my video capture, I caught his audio, so I could reuse that. As well as me being in a new place, my audio is going to sound a little echoey. I haven't soundproofed the place yet, so this one's going to be a little lazier. But next week for sure, we will have everything back to normal. Hopefully, everything sounds a lot better and looks a lot better. But this one's just going to be a little scuffed, so I'm just giving you guys a heads up. All right, thanks. Enjoy.
Hey everybody, what's up? Welcome to Underwhelming Expectations, episode 11. We're back.
We're back.
Look at this boy.
I'm done.
Where's he at?
I'm done with my venture, my
What's he
conquering bullshit, dude.
Whose house is that?
This is apparently mine.
Tell us the story.
The story of how fucking crazy that fucking day was moving in. It wasn't as bad. It was good. It was decently done because there was a shit ton of fucking people helping us. So it only took us an hour to pack, and then a little bit less than an hour to move everything in, and then after that we just fucked around and everybody left, and that was it. But I'm dealing with the I don't know, the aftermath of like, okay, I gotta change all my utilities. I gotta fucking pay off because I kept nothing of what I had. Couldn't keep the same internet company, the same electric company. I couldn't keep it. They don't do that here.
What?
So I had
Why?
to cancel all of that shit and foot the bill for the final shit.
I had to do that when I moved from Japan, but that's because I was living in Japan, and it was like I had a Japanese phone number and a Japanese SIM card and you know all the other shit. So I had to like get rid of that and then get a new one when I came to the States again.
Right.
But that's fucking heinous that they make you change all that shit when you move in state too, mind you.
I'm still I have the bills for the internet. The last bill I need to pay for the internet because God bless, I don't have to fucking use Frontier anymore. I'm on fucking Spectrum now, so I'm running that high speed shit. And my electric, I'm waiting for that. I really hope that they don't fuck up and give me a cancellation fee because I'm not supposed to get one because I have no choice. I'm moving here. I can't keep them. It's not a cancellation fee. I should get that. I was already told I would. So if I do, I'm going to fucking shove my foot so far up their ass. I swear to God.
Yeah, usually they're pretty lenient.
I hope not. I mean, I hope so. Because I'm not in the mood to fight with people on the phone. I'd been doing it all fucking week leading up to moving out, dude. All week. You can't. Oh my God, dude. Rachel was like, you need to fucking relax, dude. I'm like, I'm sick. I'm sick of fucking dealing with people.
You're gonna make your blood pressure go up.
I'm so, dude, because when I was trying to cancel my electric bill, right? Get what these motherfuckers did, all right? So I'm canceling it. I'm telling them that the whole time. I'm like, okay, well, here's the address. See if you can hook me up. And they're like, oh, we service this area, but we can't, for some reason, we can't reach your apartment. I'm like, fuck. And they're like, you can call your apartment complex and then get back to me. And I'm like, all right, fuck it. I'll do it. So I call the apartment complex, and they're like, yeah, we only have one electric company that does water as well, the same company. And I'm like,
bad news.
Why the fuck did I not know about this?
That's fucking bad news bears.
So I went back and I'm like, yeah, sorry, you service that area, but you don't service that building. And they're like, oh, I'm so sorry, sir, that really sucks. Let's set you up a move out date so we can cut off your electric plan, and there will be no cancellation fee. And I'm like, all right, cool. And she's like, I'm gonna send you to another department, and I'm like, all right, dab it on. It's fucking good. It's okay. Right. I figured out the problem. A little frustrated, but I figured it out. They transfer me to this fucking guy. I don't know who the fuck this schmuck is, all right? I don't know if he was in the middle whacking off at his fucking cubicle, but he picks up the phone, and he's like, hello? And I'm like, hello? And he's like, oh, can I have your account number? And I'm reading off fucking basically the 3.1415682, like the whole fucking like 9 yards, dude. And he's like, okay, cool, so what can I do for you? And I'm like, I'm trying to set out a move-out date so I can cut off my electric bill because I'm moving somewhere else. And he's like, Oh, I don't know why she sent you over here. I'm gonna. This isn't the department that handles that. Let me transfer you to somewhere else. And I'm like, okay, yeah, go for it. Help me out, please. Transfer me to the next guy. The next guy's like, okay, yeah, can you give me your account number? I'm like, fuck, 3.141568, like the same shit. And he's like, I can't find your account number. And I'm like, well, I was just transferred here. I'm trying to, set up a move out date so I can stop the plan. And he's like, what's your electric company? I'm like, it's Green Mountain. And he's like, sir, this is Reliant Energy. I'm like, how the fuck did I even get over here? It's like it's like putting a blindfold on, right? And getting into a bus stop, and then getting on the bus, and then just going, and then you count down. All right, maybe it's been an hour. Let me get off at this one. And you get off, and you're like, how the fuck did I get here? I'm like,
Where the fuck am I?
I'm like, dude, what? What? Are you guys just calling each other all fucking day? Like fucking chit-chatting on the phone, like chewing the fat, or what? So I called back. It's a different fucking person. And she's like, oh, they already set up your move-out date. I'm like, what? And she's like, yeah, it's for the 27th. I'm like, why for the 27th? It's not even anywhere. I move out this weekend. And she's like, oh, I'm sorry, okay. And then she does her on her fucking keyboard. Yeah, I feel like when they're on the phone with you, they move their mic to their keyboard so they know. It sounds like they're doing shit.
Yeah.
It sounds like, but literally she's just doing this, and all she really needs to do is click the mouse once, and she's done. But that shit was so fucking annoying, and I was so fucking done with that shit. My blood was boiling, dude. It's such a pain in the ass to move out.
Oh, I know, for sure, man. So like in the military, we do out processing in the military, and it involves you going through a whole ass laundry list of places to go and things to do to basically make you not at that base anymore. And it is a fucking struggle, my friend. It is not fun. It's just like places you didn't even know like existed. You got to go to, and you got to be like, yeah, here's my social security number, and they're like, all right, gotcha, and they fucking sign you out, and that's it. But you got to do that like 50 times. And then,
departments you didn't know exist. Yeah, this is the ball pit department. We just jump in ball pits and
exactly.
just hang around.
They fucking just send you all over the place. They fucking they tell you to just go to all these different places. You got to like find the addresses and stuff. Some things you take care of earlier than others, which is what really sucks, because sometimes like you'll out process like really, really late, like days before you're supposed to leave, and that's the struggle, because that's like you're trying to move stuff out of your house, and you have like you still work, so there's still things that you can't sign out of yet, but it's just like a lot of conflicting schedules and shit. It sucks, but yeah, for sure, I feel that struggle.
If I could never move out again, I definitely would, but I know there's going to be another point when I'm going to have to move out again and deal with the same shit. I have a feeling that the next time I move out, though, it will be into a house, which will be a bigger thing to undertake. There's so much more that goes into a fucking house, dude. I can't even. I'm scared of that because I see my parents in their fucking their lake house, their little fixer-upper lake house, and they're constantly paying for shit and just trying to fix up the house. They just got the foundation done, and they fixed the foundation, but all the fucking doors are now like, they're like, they don't close. They don't. You fix one problem and it creates 10 more, and it's like, fuck, dude. At least here, when you're in an apartment, you can get, you put in a service request, and some other jack-off comes in here.
Yeah, exactly. People do stuff for you.
Yeah, so it's nice, but eventually I will need to get out of this prison of an apartment.
Well, I mean, you just moved into it. Is it a prison yet, or is it like a chalet?
Oh no, it's a dream right now. But I mean, at some point we're gonna be like, yeah, let's move on to getting a house. Let's go from one prison to just a slightly larger prison with a bit more space.
Like a maximum.
That's right. Well, I mean, fuck, dude, we're in quarantine. Anywhere can be a fucking prison.
That's true. I don't know. My house has been pretty cozy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You hear about I don't know which state or city it was, but like they're stopping homeless people from like loitering in places by like covering benches with
Oh
things so they
yeah,
can't sleep on
I've seen
them,
that.
or
That's fucking wild.
isn't it? Dude, come
Doesn't
on.
it cost money to like do that?
Yes, it does. 100% it does. Everything costs money. It's like you're taking away something that these people literally have nothing. All right, they got nothing. Whether it was due to some bullshit that happened to them or it was because they did it to themselves, they don't have anywhere to go. Like, I'm not about to invite them into my fucking house and like, did I ever tell you the story of when my mom let these homeless people live in our house for like a week or two?
What?
Yeah. All right. This is slightly how I remember it. She's probably going to listen to this and, correct me on it. Also, we have to talk about her too because I learned that she listens to the podcast.
Yeah.
And last time I saw her, she had some choice words for me.
Oh no.
But
I gotta remind you of that.
There was one time when not when we had first moved here, but I think we already knew each other at that point. And my mom, I don't know if she knew these people previously and they lost their home, or she just saw them and got the scoop because she knows everybody in town. And she invited these people to come stay in our house for like a week. They were eating our food and using our shower and all that shit. And like, I didn't talk to them at all. At all. That they were in the house. I'm like, all right, my mom's okay with you people being in here. Cool. But that doesn't mean I have to talk with you at all. And she just let them hang out and just dick around. They weren't like a nuisance. They weren't annoying by any means. If anything, I forgot sometimes that they were even there until I went out like my fucking room and saw them, doing some bullshit. But yeah, she just let him in. I don't exactly recall how that came up. I'll have to ask her. But from my perspective, she just let these people in here, and they had like suitcases of shit too. Like they were going on vacation, dude. They were on holiday in my fucking house.
That is wild.
Yeah, I just super weird. I didn't expect that shit at all. But yeah. So my mother. I already knew that most of my family listened. My mom, or my dad, and my sister for sure. I knew they already listened. My mom, I wasn't sure about. I wasn't sure if she listened to it.
My mom and dad listen until we start talking about stuff that isn't
dicks and
applicable.
ass.
No. Even the dicks and ass stuff. I think it's just the stuff that isn't applicable to like parents.
Oh,
like
okay.
Video games and music and
game stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, my dad. I figured out that my dad started to. He watches it actually. He doesn't listen to it. He says that when he's working, like at his desk, when he's working at his desk, he takes his phone out and he puts it on his desk and he leans it there and he watches it while he's working. That's what he told me. Yeah, it's fucking wicked. That support. But my mother, so I'm like, okay, this is like gonna hurt some people out there, one person in particular, but I am arguably the favorite, all right, of my mothers. I'm the favorite. I'm the boy. I'm the firstborn son.
The fucking boy.
Her blood child just come to life. And she is not a fan of vulgarity. Like, she's not a fan of profanity whatsoever. And, we're pretty loose on here.
Yeah, we're pretty,
we're talking about
most things.
Cock and balls all the fucking time, man. And, she, it's not so much that she really hates that. She just hates that she's hearing it coming out of my mouth. And it's funny because she's worse. Arguably, she's worse than me. Yeah. She can be so bad, and she will deny it. She will die on that hill. But I've seen her throw some fits where she's just fucking going off, dude. And my dad my dad's like me. He uses it not super frequently, but every now and then. But she just fucking kills her, dude. It's like she doesn't, and then she tells me, and I'm like, that's odd. I thought it was my podcast. I didn't know it was yours. I didn't know you were like the producer. I had no idea. And she's like, well, I just don't like it when you curse all the time. I'm like, well, you don't gotta listen to it if you don't want to. And my sister and my dad are backing because they love that shit. They think it's hilarious. They think that this shit is like the shit we talk about is hilarious. So they were telling her before I talked to her, like, just leave him alone. It's his own shit. Just let him fucking be. But I know my mom's not that way. She'll always be that way where, she'll care about the things that I'm doing and how they're doing them and, silently judging them. But, it doesn't, I don't mind at all. I don't know how your parents
Yeah.
really
Well,
feel
my
about
parents,
that.
they honestly don't really, they don't talk to me that much about it. I think the only episode where um, they've said anything was it last episode? I
The
think
jacking
episode
off
8.
one?
No, it was the one we were talking about our dicks. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was
That was
that one.
2. That was 9, I think.
Yeah, no, I'm not sure. The
It
last
wasn't the
episode,
last one. It
yeah,
was
9. I'm not really
2
sure.
episodes ago.
That's the only episode, and it wasn't even that much. I don't really mind, because my parents kind of know my personality at this point, so they're aware of my sense of humor.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think they're too dumbfounded by the heinous shit that I say over the internet. But I think it's really really funny that your mom.
Well, it's also
Uh,
like for a long time I wasn't sure if they were fully aware of what my humor was.
when did you
'Cause,
start? When did you start like swearing around your parents?
Uh, probably when I was like 19 or 18.
Uh-huh.
When I was fresh out of just like, all right, time to be an adult.
Yeah.
But I wasn't like going in there like, oh, that motherfucker and they're fucking this. Yeah, I wasn't doing that. I wasn't doing that because that's like really aggressive and shit. And I can be like that, but I'd rather not with my parents. And
Mhm.
I tested the waters. I dipped a little baby toe in the water, and would use little words here and there like, "Oh man, this really pisses me off." It's like when you're a kid and you're like, "Oh dude, fudge you." It's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
it's like that. It's the equivalent of that. So I was slowly going to it. My dad's easier to deal with because he fucks around all the time, especially when he's
Yeah.
with my uncle. He's fucking popping off, dude.
Yeah.
Like he was complaining to me about the internet at their the lake house because they live out in the boonies, and the only other company that they can get is still using dial-up, and he gets so mad over it, and he's like, yeah, these motherfuckers are trying to fuck me. And I'm like, oh my god, holy shit, dude. And so it's easier with him, but my mom just doesn't like hearing that kind of shit come out of me. Other than just like little things like, man, I'm really pissed, or if she notices that I'm actually angry about something, then yeah, I'll call somebody a fucker and she'll be like, oh yeah, whatever, yeah. Like
I mean, he is a fucker.
she'll be mad with me or irritated with me, but
Yeah.
I won't go out there and be like, you pussy ass motherfucker, and like just like going at it. I don't
Yeah.
do that at all. She's gonna hate this too. She's gonna hate this.
Oh,
She's
yeah.
gonna
No.
cringe every time she fucking hears me say something. dude.
It's another dad. It's mom. Don't watch this time.
Yeah, it's a mom don't watch. She's
Yeah, mom
probably
don't
holding my dad's arm, just crushing it with her big fucking big hands, crushing his bones.
I didn't start like actually swearing around my parents until after I graduated from basic training.
Oh really?
Yeah, they I mean like there was still like, you know, like an occasional piss or like a damn or, you know, something like that.
Damn.
Just stuff that wasn't,
I don't know why, but when I
Yeah.
hear like damn, I just hear it in like Duke Nukem's voice, like the damn.
Yeah. That's how I
Damn it.
used it too. I'd just be like chilling in the backseat of the car and I'm like, damn.
Damn.
For no reason.
Looking at some chick's fat ass,
Yeah.
and you're just like, damn. God damn.
God. Damn. No, they were like visiting me after I finished basic training, because after you finish BMT, there's like there's a period where your parents visit and you get to like go off base, and it's like a whole big thing because it's your first taste of like civilian life since you fucking joined the military, and it's like this whole thing. And I remember like being in the car with my parents, and they were like, "Oh, where should we go?" And I'm like, "I don't give a fuck." And they just kept going like nothing
Just
happened. They
blurted
like,
out.
Yeah, they just blurted out, and I was like, all right, well, I guess this is how it is now. So now I
don't give a
swear
fuck.
like I just swear like I normally would around my parents, and they don't say anything.
Oh,
So I guess
man.
which is weird because my dad and mom both don't really swear that much. Like
They
on the
don't
whole,
say swears.
yeah, they don't really say swears that much. I think I've heard my dad say fuck like maybe like 4 or 5 times, like
A handful of times, really?
Yeah, he doesn't really say.
I feel like my dad's a fucking sailor, dude. Like
Nah.
he's
Yeah, my dad doesn't say like any. Yeah,
the
he's got,
parallels.
no, he's got pretty. I mean, God knows how many words he said when I wasn't around, you know. But
That's true.
For the ones that I witnessed personally in my 23 years of life, it's been very minimal on the swearing side, which I think is funny because me and my brother both swear like sailors. So
I think about like how my dad is now, and I'm like, how rad would it be if I got to hang out with him when he was young, at the age that I am now. I feel like me and my dad would be balling out. We would be fucking around all the time because I know some of the shit that he's done, just from stories. He's done some shit, and he's done some shit that he shouldn't have got away with doing. Not murder. I'm not talking about murder. I'm just saying, you know, some shit that he would have gotten in trouble by an adult, or well, actually, he got in trouble one time for some shit in the military that he did. Have I told this story before of him being put in the brig?
You've told this story.
That was one instance of him fucking around. There was another one that was way before that. And to preface this, it was with my Uncle Domingo and I think another friend or some shit. And my Uncle Domingo, he is... To put it simply, he's a motherfucker, dude. I tell you what, like he is like a guy. He's fucking hilarious. He doesn't give a fuck about what anybody thinks, dude.
Yeah.
He will ball out, dude. Like he says like some racy jokes that are pretty funny, dude. Like, I'm not gonna lie, dude. Like he's just a fucking card, dude. He's so hilarious to be around. I fucking love being around my uncle. It was more awkward for me to hang out with him when I was younger because I wasn't always like this, especially when I was young. I was a little bit more reserved, and he's fucking yelling in everybody's shit. But now that I'm older and I've developed my personality a little bit to fucking combat that kind of shit, me and him are fucking around all the time. Yeah. But it was my dad and him and I think a friend of his or some shit, and they wanted to go out clubbing or dancing or some shit when they were young. I think they were still in high school, and they had a friend that had a mom who was a nurse, and she would work at night, so they literally took her car and went to the nightclub, fucked around in it, and I think something happened. I think they fucked up the car somehow. I think they either hit something or spilled something in the car, and then they just parked it where it was and they left it there, and they got away with that. Nobody ever figured it out. And Jesus. Like my dad has some fucking stories about when he was his whole dating saga when he was young is like he dated a blind girl. He almost kissed this chick with a unibrow at a club because he didn't notice until she got to the bar. And
dating saga,
dude. I am so glad I did not have nearly as big of a fucking problem with dating as my dad did. Yeah. It wasn't that he couldn't mac. He could mac on girls all the time. It was just who the girl was and what the fuck was wrong with her at that point in time.
Jesus Christ.
Like that, my mom will always make jokes about the deaf girl that he had dated, because I think she had a little chalkboard with her that she would write on the fucking chalkboard and shit. And
That's not real.
I think my dad left her high and dry when she wanted him to meet her parents.
Dude.
I think my dad just dipped. I think that's how it goes.
Also deaf?
I don't know. I have no idea. That'd be crazy. I knew a guy who I played Red Dead with, and he wasn't deaf, but both of his parents were. And it was super... He told some stories about, like... they would still do normal stuff around the house and shit, but his dad would mow the lawn. And deaf guy mowing the lawn, all right? And they have a dog. So while he's mowing the lawn, he's constantly looking over his shoulder and being really fucking paranoid because he doesn't want to hit the dog or like run over the dog because he can't hear it. He can't hear anything. Yeah. But I can't imagine what it would be like to have both of your parents are deaf and you have to like sign language to both of them.
Dude, that'd be shitty.
It'd be, man, I don't. That's a huge lifestyle change to have somebody in your life that has a disability like that, you know, being deaf or blind.
And yeah, absolutely.
You have to cope with helping with that handicap. That's fucking crazy.
You gotta like dedicate your life to that.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, ASL is a really handy thing to know. It's definitely something anybody. Rachel studied it in college. I don't know how much of it she knows now. But it's useful just to know the basics of it because she's used it outside.
I feel like at a minimum, everybody should know at least the alphabet.
Yeah, Yeah.
Like, because then you can spell out things that you need. Like, you don't have to know the science for everything,
Yeah.
but you can at least know like what to spell.
You don't need the shortcuts. You can just know the
Or
basics and
yeah,
spell
exactly.
it. Yeah. Yeah. But
Dude,
that's
if you could go to any point in time in history, in like a time machine,
mhm.
what point in time would you go to?
That's a good fucking. Um, I would go to where is it? Roswell, New Mexico, in the 40s when all the UFO shit was going on.
Yeah.
That's where I would go. I would want to be.
Is that your favorite time in history?
No, it's not. But that's something that I don't know what's really like. I don't know what like that whole panic was with like UFOs and shit. Because a lot of crazy shit was happening in Roswell at that time. There was constant UFO sightings and a lot of weird shit happening that is kind of just like not swept under the rug that people just don't take seriously. But apparently there's, people are losing their fucking minds over there. I want to know what that's like. I want to be in that. I want to be able to be like in the hysteria.
Okay, well, here's a follow-up question then. If you could go back in time and the things that you did affected the future, would you still go back to Roswell, or would you go somewhere else?
Can I bring anything with me?
I guess it depends on what you're bringing with you.
Anything technology-wise, like a phone or.
Yeah. I mean, I guess if it's in your everyday carry, then yeah, sure, why not?
I want to take my phone to somebody, but I don't know who the fuck to take it to, so that they can take it apart, and then we can get further ahead in the technological
yeah, that'd be
war.
Fucking nuts. Could you imagine?
Yeah. Like if I brought an iPhone and I just gave it to him and I'm like, take this apart, study it, learn from it.
Yeah.
We would have flying
that
cars.
Would be like that would be like the 40s or the 50s, I think.
Oh yeah.
Because that's when technology was like first starting to fucking like try like boom for the average person, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Or I would go to I guess anywhere in the 60s during the Red Scare, and then just point at people and call them communists and get them all locked up. That'd be fucking awesome.
It's like the Salem witch trials, but
yeah. But I still don't even need any evidence. It works both ways. Like,
it's true.
You look like a commie. You're fucking red. Take that motherfucker away. Take him away. And they put him in cuffs and they kick him and they make him Fortnite dance into a fucking cell and you never see him again.
Do the orange justice until his.
You make him do the orange justice. Yeah, but I think the point of interest for I guess time travel for me is just weird times, weird points in times or weird eras where a lot of kind of out of place shit happened. Like exactly like those two as examples, Roswell and like anywhere during the Red Scare,
right?
Or what's another really good one? I always wanted to see what like a famine in like the French Revolution or in the USSR.
Yeah, like the 20s.
Yeah, like I'd want to see what that's actually, because you can look at images all you want, but you'll never know what it actually feels like to be there. Or I could just time travel to the last live Daft Punk concert and call it a day.
2007. It would.
2000. Oh, that's so long ago.
Yeah, I know.
That's so long ago.
It's crazy. That's 13 years ago.
Yeah, it makes me sad.
That's more than half my age.
It makes me mad sad.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe someday. I would go. I think I would go to like the 50s. Why? Or no, wait. If we're talking about like famine periods, like just unexplainable shit that me being there had no effect on anything, I would probably go to like World War One.
Oh really?
Like in the trenches and shit. I want to see what it's fucking like, dude. Because I think that when people describe like war, like true war and hell, my mind immediately goes to like the trenches in World War One, because I feel like those guys are the ones that probably had
the worst.
The worst of it and the best definition of war. Well, I think was World War One, for sure.
I would love to. It's funny that you bring that up. I would love to experience what it's like to fight like the Viet Cong. And, in the Vietnam War, like what fighting that kind of tactic is like, because that's like guerrilla tactics is at that point nobody was using them anymore except for those motherfuckers, and they use the environment to their best of their abilities. Like they had the home fucking ground, dude. They
Yeah,
had the
and they
home
used it.
stadium, and like it's like I want to know what that's like the fear of knowing. Or having that feeling of like they could be anywhere, dude.
Yeah,
They
I
could
could take two
literally,
steps and fucking fall into a giant pit with spikes at the bottom
yeah,
of it
with
and
spikes
die
in it, or they could
immediately.
be up in the trees. They could have booby traps. Literally,
Yeah,
that
that's
is
fucking
like
dude,
it's
that's
fucking
terrifying.
insane. Or it just any of that kind of shit. I would love to be there for like the Manhattan Project and seeing how all that worked out.
Oh yeah, wasn't
Uh,
the main who was the main dude on the Manhattan Project?
uh,
What the fuck was his name? I keep forgetting it.
it
I'm gonna
wasn't
pull it up.
Einstein. It was some other fuck. There's three or four of them, I think. One of them was a lead scientist on that, though.
Manhattan, whoops, Project. It was. Shit, I have no idea. What the fuck was his name?
There is a group of them.
Noble Commanders, James Marshall. Dude, what the fuck was his name? Notable. Kenneth Nicholas? Dude, I have no idea.
No, I don't fucking know. I know there's a whole group of them.
Yeah, there's a
Wait.
whole-
So,
yeah.
in your hypothetical here, would it be like you go to that point in time and then when something happens to you, like you die, you get sent back to the present, or you just die in the past?
Well, I
Because
wasn't
that
really
changes
considering-
everything.
I wasn't really considering death as a part of it, but
Well, I mean, just
I
the
would-
stipulations of
I
it.
would say in the first part of my hypothetical, you would just go back to the past, but in the second part, you would actually die for real.
Okay. Because if we do it that way, we're like, if you go there and then you die, you go back to the present. Then I would probably want to go to the Japan bombings with the atom bomb and just experience what it's like to be in there and like see that shit, because that's insane, dude.
You mean like the explosion in Lebanon?
Oh God, we've been gone for a week. We haven't
Yeah, we've
talked.
been
Someone
gone for a
okay,
whole week.
dude, those videos are fucking insane.
Yeah, they are. Dude, the first one that I saw, I was dumbfounded.
Yeah.
Because the point of view is the dude just like sitting on the balcony and he's like recording it with his iPhone or whatever, and then you see the explosion and then you see the shockwave, and the shockwave just like fucking sweeps over the whole area. And
it
then
looks like
as
a
soon as it
Michael
gets to the
Bay
guy,
movie.
They're just like fucking. They're like, oh my god, this is fucking.
Yeah, it's fucking. I saw a video of I guess this couple was getting their wedding pictures taken.
Yeah,
or a wedding
yeah,
video,
I saw that one too.
And they're literally there, and you see the whole side of that building just
Yeah.
peel off and just blow them
Yeah.
away.
That
It's
was the most
insane.
fucking crazy part. Was that video from the dude with the balcony? Because he's so far away from the explosion, you can
And it
see
still
all
knocked
the
him
other
back.
buildings, and all of the ceilings and shit just like fucking tear off. That's like that was the craziest part to me. I was like, holy shit.
There was
that's
a guy
fucking wild.
who ended up dying, but he was live streaming it from like 2 streets across from that, like really fucking close.
Yeah.
And that shit, when dude, it was like watching those movies of like found footage. It was like
Yeah.
so like surreal and just so like
very surreal.
fucking crazy. It didn't seem like it was like an actual thing.
Yeah.
It's insane. It's absolutely insane. When I first saw that, because I saw it on Twitter, it was trending on Twitter. I don't fucking live in Lebanon. I'm not gonna fucking know about this. This is not local news. All right. So I got on Twitter and I saw this shit, and I'm like, I don't even know where the fuck Beirut is. I can fucking point anywhere on the globe and assume that's Beirut.
Yeah.
But that building, that warehouse, what factory, whatever the fuck it was, it had fireworks in it, right? That's what it was.
Okay, so I think so what I think is it's a munition storage for Lebanon. So that's what I think it is, and that's what multiple people have been saying, is that it was a munition storage, but I think the media is trying to cover it up as being a munition storage and instead saying that it's like a firework factory to quell the general public from thinking that Lebanon had like weapons and stuff.
Yeah. All I really know is that they are like, the people of Lebanon are fucking pissed, dude. Like the people that are supposedly in charge of that building, that facility, they're on like house arrest right now because they're trying to figure out who's taking responsibility for all of this like destruction.
Yeah.
Because obviously it's due to improper care of whatever the fuck was in there. You know, that building definitely does not fucking reach OSHA standards. I will say this right now. Whatever the fuck was going on in there, it was a honky tonk that I'm not willing to touch. But somebody else, some legal fuckhead, is probably trying to get as much information as he can, because there's
some fucking
a
legal
lot of people
scratching his head right now trying to figure out how the fuck he's gonna make reprimands.
He's a fucking monkey on the typewriter trying to figure out all this fucking bullshit that they're just giving him. But there's like so many people that are dead, but there's even more people that are missing and just assumed dead.
The first report that I saw that came out said that like 10 people died, and I'm like, there's no fucking way only 10 people died from that. I'm like, there's got to be many more people that died from that.
I don't want to like make a joke of this. Do you know who Wings of Redemption is? By any chance?
I know who Wings of Redemption is.
Did you see the news coverage of like it was like a news station that was covering the Beirut shit, and there's a scene where they're going through pictures of all the people who died or are missing in the explosion, and somebody got Wings' picture there. They changed his name. I think they just I'm pretty sure they just made it like some Liquid Richard bullshit, and then like a fake phone number. It was on national TV, dude. It was like a drop down. It was going up. The screen was going up, and then you see like a picture of Wings right there. Like, it's fucking crazy. Dude, that fucking guy, dude. A while back, did you hear about the Home Depot shit?
The Home Depot shit? What?
Oh my god. So there was he went to Home Depot to like do some fucking bullshit.
Wait, Wings?
Wings.
Okay.
Wings went to Home Depot, and I think he was going to return some shit. And then somebody who worked there recorded the footage from the cameras that were in there, and they made a fake news story out of it about how he tried to rob this place. And there's like an overlay of like a news overlay with like news on it, and there's a part of it, an anchor talking about a local man that robbed this place. He got fucking mad. Why is it so
fucking funny to clown on Wings of Redemption? Like,
dude, Wings is. Can we talk a little bit about Wings? As you know, I am 100% very educated on the lolcows of the internet, right?
Yeah.
Anywhere from low tier god to Chris Chan, right, and in between. And Wings of Redemption falls right there. For anybody that doesn't know, but knows from our past conversations about Chris Chan and low tier god how they're just like big memes and people like to clown on them. Wings of Redemption, way back in the day, was a Call of Duty commentary guy. He would record gameplay footage of him doing pretty good in COD, and he would, talk over it. That was his shit. And that used to be a really popular thing back in the day before it died off like it is now. Right. But there was a live stream that he was doing that was infamous for making him look like a total clown. And it was him versus, it was a 1v1. Him versus, who the fuck was it?
I can't remember.
Some other COD YouTuber that was really popular at the time. And he was talking mad shit the whole time. During the podcast, they were on a podcast, and he's like, I'll fucking 1v1 you in fucking COD right now. I'll fucking crush you. And they're like, and Woody's gamertag is one of the hosts of the podcast, and he's like, oh, let's just do it now. Let's just set it up now. And I'm sure Wings didn't expect to be like, oh, fuck, we're doing it now, whatever. Yeah. So they set up a lobby, and there's no map, there's no radar, no nothing. They, took a lot of the extra shit that helps you out. And he got fucking destroyed. And halfway through it, he just started to make excuses. Just bullshit excuses, too. Like, shit that didn't even fucking matter. Like what? And he eventually didn't even finish the set. He just rage quit. Straight out. And from that point forward, people would constantly badger him and make fun of him and just recall the most heinous shit. And people till this day, there's like so many troll YouTube channels that are just compilations of him being cringe or doing stupid shit just to make fun of him. And it's not even over the course of a couple streams or a couple videos. It's literally one video per one stream. That's how much content they take from that. So he went through some shit a couple years ago where he got popular because he wanted to. He's a big guy. He's fucking huge, all right? He's like a planet, all right? And he wanted to raise money so he could lose weight because he was struggling with doing it on his own, working out.
Why do you need to raise money for that?
I don't know, because he's lazy. Anyways, your boy Keemstar hit him up and got a
Yeah.
bunch of people to, give him a little bit of clout so he can get some money. And he did it. He got the money, but it was so long before he actually did the surgery that people would constantly be like, when are you getting that surgery? Are you getting that surgery still? If you schedule the thing for the surgery? And he's constantly making up bullshit all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And till this day, that is still a joke. He got it done, but there's so many memes out there. People troll him in video games. They stream snipe him. They find him in lobbies and ruin his fucking time.
Yeah,
like he'll
I
be
have
playing.
a buddy in like this group that I'm in, who played Wings in a league game, and fucking just shit on him, like all over him. And Wings is like not a bad league player by any means. He's like Diamond 2 or 2
He's
or
not
1.
a bad gamer by any means. He's just fucking.
He's not bad, but like
he's susceptible to getting trolled all the time.
he just got fucking shit on. And then he posted, or my buddy posted the picture to the group, and he was like, Wings of who? And then we looked at the picture, and he just got fucking. He's like 2-9 or some crazy shit like that. And he just got fucking dumpstered. And we're all just clowning on Wings.
I would have popped in chat and be like, "Hey Richard, what's going on?" And he'd be like, "That's not my fucking name. You fucking know that." But like, there's so many moments of him where people are trolling him. There's one moment that's fucking infamous, and it used to be really funny to me, and it's still a little bit, but I kind of feel bad for him, even though I shouldn't, because there's when Call of Duty World War II was out.
Yeah.
There's this fucking guy that just found him. Was on his team. Was constantly getting in front of him and looking at him and blocking his view the whole time. And it was ruining it. He was having such a bad day, and he was dealing with it for hours on stream. Yeah. And eventually he breaks down. And he's like, I'm just so depressed. I just wanted to scream because I'm so lonely. And he's like, God damn it. And he throws his controllers all the fucking time. And he was literally crying on stream. And he's like, I hate my life. And he's like crying and shit. And like, God. That's like the infamous classic Wings like highlight clip. But like, there's so many people just clown on him because he's constantly made fun of things that he thinks is like he says he doesn't eat out a lot, right?
Yeah.
There's a meme in the channel of how much he loves Wendy's chili. And they'll constantly be like,
"Wait, that's like their worst item, dude."
Yeah, first of all, that's the worst item. Second of all, he says that he eats healthier and hasn't eaten chili in like forever. But then the next stream, he's eating fucking chili, just like on stream, just straight up. And like, there's also a joke about how he's addicted to drinking Pepsi because he is, but he denies it all the fucking time.
Why Pepsi?
And I don't know, dude. I like Pepsi, but not that much.
Yeah.
And then he just gets trolled all the fucking time. But he deserves it, though. Because you'll be playing on, like, Rainbow Six with him or some team game, and it's never his fault. It's his team's fault. Yeah. He's one of those guys. So it's constantly one of those. And that's why people troll him, because he's so easy. He's easy fucking money to fucking get mad or get upset. And he also whores out for donations, too.
Oh, I mean, that's just like an average Twitch thing, I think.
It's not like low tier God where you need $30 and I'll turn on my webcam.
Yeah.
It's more like he'll try to guilt trip the chat by being like 2 hours into stream, and he's like, I've been streaming for 2 hours. I've only made $10 in donations. This is a waste of time. Like, it's just pathetic.
Oh my God.
It's pathetic, dude.
He's like, people that are like that will stream and they're like, oh man, I've been streaming for like 5 hours and I've only gotten 3 gifted subs. It's like, dude, what the fuck is this? It's like,
fuck off, man. Dude. And like, he'll be like, the people will be like, hey, why don't you play this game? Because you obviously aren't enjoying this game.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, I'm only playing this game because it gets views and I get donations when I play this game. And it's usually the games that he rages at or gets trolled on. Yeah. So it's like Call of Duty or like Rainbow Six.
He does it to himself. What can I say?
Yeah, he does. 100% he does it to himself. He's fucking ridiculous, dude.
The people that do it to themselves, I think, deserve to get trolled in some sort of facet.
Mm-hmm. Well, I feel like the trolls kind of go a little bit above and beyond. There's a few instances where there would be girls that he's trying to date.
Yeah.
And they would find the girl on social networking and message him and link that person all of the videos that people have made on him.
Oh my fucking god.
Dude, I'm telling
Wait,
you.
that's fucked up though.
And then there was this I don't know if this is still a thing. I don't even know if this is the same fucking person, but he got married. I don't know if you know this. Wings got married. Not like going to having a wedding. He just got legally married. He went to the courthouse and got it done. To this woman who they used to talk shit about all the fucking time.
Oh my god.
And there was this other, I don't know if it was the same person, but there was another altercation where he was going to marry this other woman, right? Because he's so desperate. And she was a nurse, and she made really good money. And people started to figure out that he just wanted to marry her so he could get, like his health care and all of his shit taken care of because of his wife, or would be his wife. And once that blew up, oh, dude, left him high and dry.
No!
Boom. The trolls got a hold of her and hit her with that fax, dude. Hit her with it. Dude, dude, that is so scummy though. He fucking deserves it 100%.
That's scummy, but at the same time, like, dude, if I was him, I'd be like, fuck, god damn it. I'd be pissed. I'd be like,
can you imagine if he ever stops streaming and he goes for a real job, and when people Google him, they just find loads and loads of incriminating, horrible shit about him.
What job would he have on the outside?
Fuck, I don't know. Walmart greeter? Fuck if I know. I mean, he could work at Wendy's.
You know what job I looked at the other day?
What?
Data entry.
Why?
I was curious because it's a job where you, to my understanding, what you do is you type stuff into a computer that is from paper. So so information that's from paper,
You're just
a paper
transcribing?
Source, you type it in the computer into like digital information. But
so you're just transcribing things.
Yeah, basically that's what it is. But I mean, there's more stuff to it. You have to be knowledgeable on like Microsoft applications and stuff like that. But I watched this video, and it's like 40-year-old Indian woman explaining the job description, and she's literally just reading off the Wikipedia page for the job description. She's not like...
She doesn't know what she's doing.
I mean, she might have that job, but she's literally... Somebody typed in the comments, and they were like, oh, she's just reading up the Wikipedia page. And I'm like, I don't believe that. So I looked up the Wikipedia page. She literally reads off the Wikipedia page for like the entire job description. And I'm like, damn.
People that are reading off of description shit. Dude.
I could probably fucking do this shit. All you watch any type all day.
Do you watch any Kitaboga?
Yeah, dude, I fucking love Kit Boga.
Did you see what he tweeted out earlier? I think it's a video he's going to be posting.
No, I don't follow him, but I watch him.
He tweeted out a video earlier. He was doing the old woman trope this time.
Yeah.
And it was just a clip of him getting the codes, and he's starting to type them, redeem them.
Yeah.
And the guy on the fucking phone is just like, no, like, don't, I will redeem, no.
For reference, Kit Boga is a Twitch streamer and YouTuber who specializes in, he's a coder, I think, by trade, and he, his entire goal of Twitch streaming is to accept calls from scammers and people that try to take your money through malicious ways, and he basically just fucking trolls them by putting on, like, he acts stupid. He fucking puts on voices. He makes it like an entertainment stream, and he makes it. It's a speed run. So he puts up like a timer, and he puts up like all of the times of which each event is happening in the scam process, because he's so familiar with scammers and how they operate and the means by which they try to take your money. And he sets up like a whole ass thing. And he streams it, and they're like 6 to 8 hour streams where he's on the fucking phone with like scammers who are trying to take his fucking money, and he makes it like a big show, and he's fucking awesome.
There's been streams where he has literally baited the same couple of scammers for streams in a row. Like, he'll call back the next day.
Hours.
And his whole point, I mean, he can't really do much about it. He can't shut them down or really anything unless, something really bad happens. But they're outsourced. They're not in America. They don't follow the same shit. Basically, what his goal is to waste their time instead of them calling somebody else who is vulnerable and is susceptible to falling for a trick like that.
Right.
That's his whole bit. He's just wasting their time so that they don't waste somebody else's time. And he sets up the most outlandish shit. He makes up fake websites and fake bank accounts.
Yeah.
And he tries to mess with them as hard as he can by promising them that he'll do what they say or what they suggest. And once they get there, once they get to the point where, all the scammers don't want like cold hard cash. They want something redeemable. Gift cards, something redeemable that they can use. So it'll always end up that he's like, all right, I got these 5 $200 Visa gift cards, and I'm gonna so you need these, and they're all like, yeah, we need them. I just need to redeem them. And she's like, and Kid Boga's like, oh, I can just redeem them. I could do them right now by myself. I don't even need you. And like as like he's starting to say like, oh, okay, he's reading out the letters and shit, and he's like, all right, there's one, and they're losing their minds because they think that they are so close to getting this money from this person, to scamming this person, and that's the breakdown part of his speed run. He has literally one where it's like they break down or like they lose their mind or some shit like that, and he catches them in like the most crazy shit. Yeah, the funny ones are when the scammer catches it. They catch on and they're like, oh, this guy's fucking with me, and instead of hanging up, they stay on the line and they talk shit to him all the whole fucking time.
Yeah, they go hard, honestly.
They call him like a motherfucker, and they just keep doing that because they know they're doing it wrong. But he's constantly asking like, why are you doing this? Why are you scamming people? Why are you taking this money away from people?
He only does that after he's been like caught, I guess, like figured out. Mm-hmm. Where the person scamming him figures out that he's just being trolled. And then he resorts to like name calling, and then Kid Boga's like, "Well, why are you scamming people in the first place?" Mm-hmm. And then they never ever have like a proper response to Kit. They're always just like, "Well, you're fucking stupid, like you're fucking motherfucker." Like they just go hard.
There was one that he did. This went on for 3 days, I think.
Yeah.
And this guy was trying to scam Kit Boga. And he was portraying a woman, and the guy was like, "Oh, your voice sounds so beautiful," and all this shit, and started to flirt with him. And he took that and he ran with it until it got to a point where the scam thing wasn't even a fucking obstacle anymore. Yeah. This guy wanted to voice or video chat with Kid Boga. So he literally make-upped himself up and bought a wig, and he bought a really shitty camera so that it would be a little bit harder to tell what he looked like. Yeah. And dude, I cannot believe he fooled this motherfucker. He actually did it. He 100% fooled this bastard for 3 fucking days.
He's crazy, dude.
I cannot believe that. These guys are supposed to be smart. They're supposed to be able to scam these people and trick them into doing shit.
They all have a script, right? So they all just have a literal script that they're supposed to read off of. And scenarios in which customer it's like a fucking dialogue option where customer says A, you respond with A. Customer says B, you respond with B. Things like that.
It's like a flow chart,
Yeah, exactly. It's like fucking Skyrim where you say one thing and the other person has to respond with the other thing. So they all have their fucking script to respond with, but they can only go so far. The scripts aren't fucking. They're not infinite, right? They run out at some point. So Kit's entire goal is to just like run them dry of all their possible options and just be as slow as possible and just play as dumb as possible about all the stuff and just make them frustrated to the point where they don't want to talk with you anymore, and then call them back and see what they say after.
I love those channels because he's not the only one that does that shit. There are some guys who are way more lucrative about it, and they'll really dig in there. And there is this one guy, UK guy, and he would actually trace their IP back after they lock onto his monitor. Yeah. And he did such a good job. He got into the CCTV of the building and saw them in there working there. and you could see who he was talking to by matching it up with who was doing and who was saying what based on what they were looking
Yeah, it was
like.
fucking. That was fucking sick. That was
He
like
eventually worked with the BBC to do a story on it, and these motherfuckers got taken down. The guy who owned that scamming company, he is in jail.
Yeah.
He's in jail.
That shit, dude. That shit is so fucking funny because it's like the dude. I think the video title was like how a scammer responds when you call them by their real name, and he has.
Oh yeah.
They connect it to his monitor, and then he just has all their information, like fucking their full name.
He can go into their Skype calls and shit and see them talking to each other.
Yeah, everything. He just has all their information. So he just fucking like calls them by their real name and shit, and they're like, "Huh? What?"
It's funny too because like he'll go into like the little chat with the other fuckers that are in there, right? And they're like, this guy knows my name. Like I don't. Does anybody know this guy? What do I do? What do I do?
Yeah.
And he's like, you need to call me right now. And it's so funny because it's like, dude, they're losing their mind. It's like when you step on an anthill and they just don't know what to do. They just run around.
Yeah.
It's hilarious. I love it so much.
Super fucking funny.
Those scammer channels are fucking fantastic.
Yeah,
they're such
they're
good
all
content. It's fantastic. Those guys, oh man, I wish I could be as, technologically, I don't know, intelligent.
I feel like, honestly, it doesn't take that much to, like, learn the stuff. You just have to kind of be dedicated to it to learn their, like, procedures and circumvention ways and things like that. Because if you look at Kit Boga's Twitch clips, he has a clip where he gets locked out of his computer. Because he has like a fake computer that he runs whenever he does the streams, so he can stream from his real computer and run OS that he's getting scammed from on his other computer. But he has a clip where he guesses the password that the scammer put on his computer to lock him out of it, and on the first or second try. And he was just like, well, I think it's this. And he fucking guessed it the first try. And he just got back into his computer like that.
Damn, that's fucking wild.
Yeah.
I haven't tuned in. I don't watch his streams as much because I feel like the videos are better for just, he compiles the good bits in there. I feel like they are. It just,
I don't know. The videos are just a consolidated version of what happens on the stream. And the streams are like 6 to 8 hours long and the videos are like 20 minutes, so.
Yeah, for anybody out there that just is interested by that, his YouTube is Kit Boga, Kitboga, and he has such a backlog of many videos of different scammers in different situations, and they're really good. They're really worthwhile. You can even just turn them on in the background and just listen. That's probably what I do the most.
Yeah, you don't even need like the screen up. You can just, it's like a podcast. You can just listen to the shit.
Yeah, it's wild. It's so entertaining, and I'm so glad there are people out there that are not only doing that on their own, but are also making it very entertaining for people to watch and consume on the internet, which is fantastic. Especially when it ends up like that one guy who got that whole place shut down. Like, that's fucking awesome. Even in a different country, dude, he fucking did it, and I thought that would be the hardest thing to do. Because they're outside of, like, our country's
U.S.
jurisdiction.
legislation and stuff.
That's right. Motherfuckers, dude. That's ridiculous. I can't imagine falling for that shit.
Have you ever been scammed? Like, attempted to be scammed?
I don't know. I'm pretty gullible and pretty naive for the most part, but as soon as I hear something wonky, I just stop. Like, as soon as I hear something out of place, I'm like, okay, no.
Yeah.
But if like somebody came up, like if a woman came up to me and she's like, oh hey, I need some gas money because I'm stuck here and I lost my wallet and shit like that. I'm like, I'll look around and I'll be like, where's your car? And then if it's already at a pump, I'll be like, all right, here's $10.
Yeah.
Go for it. Because like before literally this happened to me the other day. I went back to drop my keys off at the old apartment.
Yeah.
And I went to go put gas, and I was going to go in there and get a drink from the gas station, and there's this woman that came up to me, and she's like, excuse me, sir, is there any way that you can buy me some food, buy me like some chips or something? I'm starving, and so is my daughter. And I'm like, yeah, she pulled the daughter coin. She pulled the daughter rope. Fuck. And she looked not good. She looked
Yeah,
like she was.
feel like homeless.
It wasn't like she was playing it. Yeah, she looked a little homeless. She looked like she was having a rough time.
Yeah.
So I went in there and I bought some drinks and like 2 slices of pizza and 2 chips, and I gave them to her and peaced out, and then I went on my way.
And that's it?
That's it.
Damn.
I am very. I don't feel like I have a lot of empathy. All right, I don't feel like I have a lot of it. If anything, more times than not, I feel like I'm a psychopath for the most part. But there are some points there where I do feel for people. I definitely do.
I feel very empathetic. I feel like that's one of my best personality traits is my empathy. But I don't see empathy as just as like a more advanced version of sympathy. I feel like empathy is like really putting yourself in the other person's shoes and seeing how what their current life situation is, because there are times where by the way, there's this term that is used to describe a person who realizes that each and every person's life around them is as unique and valuable as their own, and that term is sonder. So when a person is sonder, that means that they realize that, you know, everybody's life besides their own everyone has problems and everyone deals with their own shit, and fucking everyone goes through their struggles and everyone has their own relationships and conflicts and breakups and whatever. And I feel like I learned that at a really early age, like maybe I don't know, maybe like 14 or 13, which I believe is a relatively early age for something of that caliber, because a lot of people don't learn that until they're like in their fucking 20s, which I feel very bad for, because I feel like that's something that you should know like really, really early on, that people, you know, they don't always care about your shit because you have your own shit going on. So there's no point in fucking caring about or what other people think of you, I guess. Because everyone else is dealing with their own shit. So
I mean, I feel like I have a little bit of that, but I think I learned that really young because my parents, I haven't experienced like being at the lowest of the low.
Yeah, me neither.
I can only hear stories about it, and I have you know, my parents, for example, my mother was a little bit better off than my dad for sure, but not by much. Being out of a group of siblings, a group of girls, and you know, my grandma, her mom, working hard and trying to do shit, and my grandma, you know, she wasn't seen by my mother as like the best. She did a lot of shit that was not okay, and she has struggles coming to terms with, but she didn't have a very normal I don't know, childhood to adulthood in a way where, you know, she wasn't wealthy by any means. She wasn't even the middle class. It took a long time for her to even reach the middle class. And even a longer time for my dad. My dad literally slept on the ground in little fucking houses and moved all the time and constantly struggled for things like food and stuff like that. And my dad, thank God my dad is the way he is, because when he was young, he was a businessman, dude. When he was young, he used to go to like the square in Mexico, and he would sell carnations to people trying to get money to buy food, buy candy, buy all this shit. He also used to deliver drugs, pharmacy drugs, to homes. He'd buy a bike, and then he'd use that money to buy other bikes and have these other kids run for him, and then do courier shit. Like, he was really trying to grind out there, and thank God that carried over to him being an adult, because he's really hardworking, and I respect that a lot about my dad. But I think knowing that they both have pretty humble beginnings because they were pretty low on the totem pole as far as the social ladder, I feel like even though I haven't experienced that entirely firsthand, I feel for people that have been through that. Because I hope that one day that they will be in a position like my parents are. They work their way up to have a comfortable life, you know? Right. And that's something I wish everybody could get, but that's not the case. So that's what my crutch is. When I realize that or see that, I feel bad, and I want to do something about it. So I'll do whatever I can to, you know, help them out at that point in time.
Do you think that the new generations are more empathetic? Like on the
Yeah.
whole.
In comparison to the previous generations, 100%. We're 100% more empathetic, and we are 100% more compassionate and more accepting of each other. Um, I mean, there are things out there, there are groups and organizations out there that are very pro hate and whatever the fuck it is that they think. But for the most part, all of us who are politically neutral or religiously neutral, for the most part, we're pretty empathetic towards each other
Yeah, I
as
would
well as
agree.
other people. It's, I mean, it's hard to say that entirely when shit like this is going on, because there are even young people during this Black Lives Matters and this pandemic that are just doing the most heinous shit ever. And
Yeah.
it's what stops me from being 100% with you about this generation being empathetic,
Yeah.
because there are people out there. But I would say there's a pretty good portion of that. They're 100% empathetic.
Did you hear about this recent shooting on this on this on the white toddler?
Yeah, I saw that on Twitter. I don't know how that happened. He was riding his bike and he took a bullet.
So his name is Cannon Hannon, and I want to make a point really quick because I've had some friends on the Facebook timeline. Um, I won't say heinous. I think heinous is a little too extreme. I think just uninformed.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you're unaware of the current situation, this man, this child, I guess, Cannon, Hennant is his name, was shot and killed by a black man. He was just riding his bike, just doing his own business, whatever, shot and killed. It's a shame. It's real unfortunate and it's very saddening. But people are making this an all lives matter point, which I don't condone in any way, shape, or form, and I feel like is a I don't know, just a counterpoint to the progress that people should be making it on the whole. But
Mm-hmm.
So the thing that people don't understand is that the person who shot and killed the child is in jail currently, no bail, and he
Mm-hmm.
has a life sentence.
Mm-hmm.
That people don't know that or realize it or refuse to acknowledge it when on the other hand of the spectrum, and I don't want to make this like a whole political thing where we
Mm-hmm.
fucking talk about, this whole thing for fucking another 30 minutes, but I just want to make it a point that the reason that this is not an all lives matter or a fucking, a just a point against the Black Lives Matter movement is that the person who killed this child was arrested and put in jail in less than 24 hours. Where on the opposite spectrum, people that are black males and black females that are killed usually don't have the same effect, where the people are arrested and put in jail immediately who did it.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that is a point to make if you are one of the people who are with, say his name,
Mm-hmm.
fucking, do whatever for this
Yeah,
child
yeah.
that was killed. I agree, it's very sad, it's very unfortunate, it's very unlucky that this person was killed in such a, a manner like this. It's
Mm-hmm.
incredibly sad, but don't make this a whole fucking thing because the person who did it is not going to see fucking daylight for a little bit
Yeah.
because he's going to be in
They're
fucking jail
they're
for a
jailed.
long time, and he was
It
caught
shouldn't
immediately.
be. It shouldn't be about that. It should be just mourning. Just mourn. The justice
Yeah,
has been served.
just
He's been caught.
yeah,
He's not going to get out. He's done.
yeah.
His life is over. I'll just say this one thing because I don't want to go over too far, but about the only thing I'm going to say about this like all lives matter, Black Lives Matter thing. One, I am behind all lives mattering. Okay, I think that all lives matter, but I don't think that it should be as big as it is because that should be something natural that everybody agrees with. Everybody's life matters. It's a 100% fact, but this isn't about everybody's life. Right now, what's happening, it's about the African Americans, the blacks. It's about what's happening to them because the statistics and the facts are out there. They don't get treated the same way as a lot of other races. It's a fact. All right? And this is the time in our lives to actually put that forth and do something about it. So even though you don't really hear about the riots anymore like you did the first couple weeks, it's still going on.
Right.
Seattle is still fucked, 100%.
Mm-hmm.
The media has died down on it, so don't. I get the All Lives Matter thing. I get it, but it's not about everybody right now. It's about them. You need to give them their time to figure this out and help them and support them. So everybody out there who hasn't, who has stopped with the, the Black Lives Matter retweeting shit, sharing shit, keep doing that. Don't let it fucking die, because if it dies, these people are hopeless, man, and it's gonna be another fucking 30 to 40 to 50 to 100 years of this bullshit, and God knows they don't want that. God knows I don't want that.
Not for sure.
So just support them. Whether you're All Lives Matter or Black Lives, just support them. You should be supporting. We're in this together. We're all human beings. We're all Americans. Support each other. That's how it should be.
All right.
So that's all I got to say about that.
Yeah. On that note, I think we're gonna go ahead and end. Sorry to end on such a somber note, but sometimes it just has to be. It has to be said sometimes.
This is a podcast worth of a week's information that we had missed out on. So there's a lot of shit that happened, bad shit that had happened this past 2 weeks.
Good.
So
we'll catch up.
Yeah, for sure. It'll be a better one next time, happier one.
Yeah, a more upbeat and more fucking silly.
We'll talk about TF2 next time. How about that?
Only TF2, and that's it. Podcast.
Dude, an only TF2 podcast. Let's fucking go. We're doing it.
All right. We'll see you guys next time. Be sure to be safe. Wear your mask, and I don't know. Don't fucking touch random people. Some fucking homeless guy came up to me yesterday and tried to fucking touch me. No. I had to just shoot him. Anyway, guys. No, I'm just kidding. I didn't. None of that happened.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, guys. Be sure to be safe. Wear your mask if you go outside. Wash your hands. Wash your mask. More importantly, because you fuckers just wear your masks over and over again. That shit don't fly. All right. Just if it's disposable, fucking throw it away and get another one. If it's washable, wash it and wear it the next week. Whatever.
Right.
Anyway. We'll see you guys next time. Appreciate you for watching as always. Socials and others will be linked in the description.
In the description, as always.
Yep, and we'll see y'all next week.
All right, see you around.
See ya.